What if I told you that the quality of your entire life, your peace, your focus, your strength, depends on what you do between waking up and going to sleep? Not luck, not motivation, just habits. Because habits are destiny in disguise. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic emperors, ruled the world not through power, but through discipline. He understood a truth that most people ignore. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. Every single day, your actions are either building your future or destroying it quietly. The Stoics didn't wait for motivation. They built systems of strength, rituals that trained their minds to stay calm, focused, and unstoppable. And today, we're bringing that ancient wisdom into your modern life. In this video, we'll explore 10 life-changing daily habits that will instantly upgrade your mindset, increase your discipline, and help you live like a true Stoic warrior in a chaotic world. So if you're ready to stop drifting and start building yourself, stay with me till the end. And if Stoic wisdom speaks to your soul, make sure to subscribe. It's free, but it might just change everything. Habit 1. Begin your day with stillness, the Stoic morning ritual. Every day, before the noise of the world crashes in, the Stoics began with stillness. No phones, no chaos, just silence. Marcus Aurelius would rise before dawn, not to scroll or chase comfort, but to prepare his mind for the battle of the day. He'd write in his journal, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people you meet will be ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, not as negativity, but as armor." He was reminding himself, "The world will test me today, but I will remain calm." That's the essence of the Stoic morning, mental preparation. It's not about avoiding difficulty. It's about expecting it and remaining unshaken. In today's world, the first thing most people do is check their phones. The Stoics would call that madness. You're giving the world control over your mind before you've even centered yourself. Instead, begin your day like a philosopher, not a prisoner. Before speaking, scrolling, or reacting, breathe. Sit in silence for 5 minutes. Reflect. Journal about what you can control today and what you can't. Ask, how can I serve my purpose today without being ruled by my emotions? This habit rewires your brain for strength. Because when you start your day in silence, you no longer react to life. You lead it. You don't wake up chasing noise. You wake up setting your tone. Stillness is not laziness. It's the sharpening of your sword before battle. If you win your morning, you win your mind. And when you win your mind, the day becomes yours to command. Habit 2. Embrace voluntary discomfort. Train the mind to be unbreakable. The Stoics believed luxury weakens the spirit. Comfort breeds softness. That's why they practiced voluntary discomfort, deliberately exposing themselves to challenge, even when they didn't have to. Seneca, one of Rome's richest men, would often sleep on the floor, wear simple clothes, and eat plain food. He'd ask himself, "Is this what I feared?" And every time, the answer was no. You see, comfort deceives you. It makes you fragile. When you're too used to pleasure, even small inconveniences break you. But when you practice hardship on purpose, the real world stops scaring you. Cold showers, waking up early, fasting, intense exercise, silence. These aren't punishments. They're training. Marcus Aurelius fought wars, ruled an empire, and faced plague, yet he never complained. Why? Because he prepared for it. Every day, he practiced letting go of control, detaching from pleasure, and embracing discomfort. Today's society tells you to chase ease. The Stoics tell you to chase growth. Because every time you voluntarily choose difficulty, you send a message to your mind. I am in control. Try this. Once a day, do one thing that challenges you. Not for the result, but for the discipline. Walk in the rain. Sit in silence when you want distraction. Push yourself in your workout when your body screams stop. The point isn't suffering, it's strength. Seneca said, "Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, and then ask yourself, is this the condition I feared?" Discomfort reveals how powerful you already are. Because the more you expose yourself to challenge, the more unshakable your peace becomes. Habit 3. Practice the art of negative visualization. Expect the storm, stay unmoved. The Stoics had a powerful mental exercise called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. It sounds dark, but it's actually the secret to calm. Before the day began, they imagined everything that could go wrong: failure, loss, rejection, pain, and they mentally prepared to accept it. Epictetus said, "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a man who is alive." The Stoics' new fear is born from surprise. When you expect life to be easy, hardship shocks you. But when you expect the storm, you stay steady when it hits. Negative visualization doesn't make you pessimistic. It makes you prepared. It strips fear of its power. When you imagine loss, you appreciate what you have. When you imagine failure, you learn that it won't destroy you. When you imagine hardship, you realize you're capable of more than you thought. Modern society avoids pain at all costs. Stoics walk toward it mentally. They rehearse reality before it happens. That's why they're calm when others panic. Try it yourself. Before your day begins, take 1 minute and visualize challenges ahead. Someone might disrespect you. A plan might fail. A task might feel impossible. Then remind yourself, you've already accepted it. You're ready. This is how Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire during war and plague, with composure, not chaos. Because he trained his mind every morning to expect the storm and remain unmoved. And when you do the same, when you stop expecting life to be smooth and instead strengthen your mind for turbulence, nothing can truly shake you. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start saying, "Try me." Habit 4. Control your inputs. Protect the gate of your mind. The Stoics believed that your mind is a sacred temple, and what you allow inside determines your peace, your focus, and your destiny. Marcus Aurelius warned, "The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your soul takes on the color of your thoughts." In modern words, you are what you consume. Every scroll, every conversation, every headline, it's all mental nutrition. Most people don't realize that they're feeding their minds junk every day. Negative news, gossip, comparison, pointless drama. These are toxins disguised as entertainment. And when you fill your mind with noise, don't be surprised when you can't hear your own thoughts. The Stoics were ruthless about their inputs. They read philosophy instead of gossip. They reflected instead of reacting. They surrounded themselves with people who challenged their character, not their ego. They knew that discipline wasn't about saying yes, it was about saying no to everything that weakens your inner state. So, protect your mental diet like your life depends on it, because it does. Curate your world. Replace morning doom scrolling with a page of Stoic wisdom. Replace pointless chatter with quiet reflection. Replace complaining with gratitude. Imagine your mind as a fortress, and you are its gatekeeper. Don't let every random idea walk in armed. Choose your inputs wisely, because they will shape your reality silently. Marcus Aurelius didn't just write about peace. He trained for it by controlling what he let influence him. You can't build a calm mind in a noisy world unless you choose silence over distraction. Guard the gate of your mind. Let only what strengthens you pass through. Everything else, let it die at the door. Habit 5. End the day with reflection. The Stoic Evening Review. If the morning belongs to preparation, the night belongs to reflection. Seneca, every evening, would sit in silence and ask himself, "What did I do well today? What did I do poorly? What duty did I leave undone?" This wasn't guilt, it was growth. It was his way of ensuring that every day left him wiser than yesterday. Most people end their nights with distraction, screens, noise, endless scrolling, and then wonder why they feel lost. The Stoics ended theirs with awareness. Reflection is the mirror that reveals who you've become. It's the practice of taking responsibility for your life, not as punishment, but as power. Try this Stoic habit tonight. Before you sleep, ask yourself, did I live today according to my values? Did I control my emotions, or did they control me? What can I do better tomorrow? Don't overthink. Just answer honestly. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Every reflection plants a seed of awareness, and awareness is the beginning of change. Marcus Aurelius wrote his meditations not for others, but for himself. It was his nightly dialogue with his own soul. You can do the same.
Right.
Reflect. Forgive yourself where you failed, and plan where you'll rise again. Each day is a life in miniature, a chance to learn, to grow, and to let go. The Stoic night isn't about replaying regrets. It's about realigning with your highest self. When you end your day with reflection, you don't just sleep better, you live better. Because your mind rests knowing it's moving toward mastery, not chaos. Habit 6. Focus only on the present. The power of now in Stoicism. The Stoics taught that all suffering comes from one illusion, the belief that we can live anywhere but the present. Epictetus said, "Do not seek to have events happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do." The moment you fight what's happening right now, you lose peace. The moment you accept it, you win. Most people live in time travel, trapped between the ghosts of the past and the anxiety of the future. They replay mistakes that can't be changed or worry about outcomes they can't control. The Stoics knew this was madness. They practiced radical presence, full awareness in the moment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." He reminded himself daily that life happens only now. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. The only time you can think, act, breathe, or love is this very second. Everything else is illusion. So, whenever your mind drifts into worry or regret, anchor yourself. Breathe deeply. Feel your surroundings. Ask yourself, what's happening right now that deserves my attention? Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring the future. It means building it consciously. It means realizing that the only way to shape tomorrow is by mastering today. Think of your mind as a lens. When it's scattered, everything looks chaotic. When it's focused, life becomes clear. That's what the Stoics trained for, not control over time, but control over attention. Next time you feel overwhelmed, remind yourself, there is no future or past. There is only now. And if you can handle this moment with clarity and courage, you can handle anything. To live like a Stoic is to live where life actually happens. Here, in this breath, in this instant. That's where freedom begins. Habit 7. Embrace silence. Let the world speak while you listen. In a world that screams for attention, silence has become a forgotten art. We fill every second with noise, podcasts, messages, scrolling, endless chatter. But the Stoics understood something profound. Silence isn't emptiness, it's clarity. Marcus Aurelius often wrote in solitude, not because he hated the world, but because he needed to understand it. Silence sharpens perception. It allows you to see people's true intentions, your own hidden emotions, and the lessons hidden in chaos. When you stay quiet, you stop reacting impulsively and start observing with wisdom. Seneca said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." And silence is the perfect classroom. The next time you feel the urge to fill silence with words, pause. Let the stillness teach you patience, awareness, and control. The loudest person in the room may seem powerful, but it's the silent one who's in control of himself and of the moment. Start practicing daily silence. 10 minutes without your phone, your thoughts, or your voice. Just you and your breath. That's where strength grows. That's where mastery begins. Habit 8. Do one thing at a time. The Stoic art of deep focus almost equals 500 words. The modern mind is scattered. We pride ourselves on multitasking, replying to texts, checking emails, half listening to someone, all while convincing ourselves we're being productive. But the Stoics knew the truth. A divided mind achieves nothing great. Epictetus taught, if you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. In other words, simplify your focus. Do one thing, and do it with full presence. When you eat, just eat. When you work, just work.
When you rest, just rest.
Every time you split your focus, you dilute your power. Greatness comes from intensity, not busyness. The Stoic way is to slow down and immerse yourself in each moment like it's the only one that exists, because it is. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, Yet he wrote about staying grounded in the task at hand. He didn't waste time chasing 1,000 things. He gave his best to one thing at a time. When you live like this, anxiety fades, stress softens, and focus strengthens. Start small. For 1 hour a day, cut off distractions, and pour yourself completely into what matters. That's how you rebuild your discipline, through undivided attention. Habit 9. Practice negative visualization. Expect the storm before it hits. Here's a secret most people don't understand. The Stoics didn't just prepare for success, they prepared for disaster. They visualized loss, failure, and pain before they happened.
Why?
Because when life hit them, they were already emotionally ready. This practice, called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, made them unbreakable. Seneca wrote, "He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand." Imagine losing your job, your comfort, your reputation. Now feel gratitude that you still have them. This is not pessimism. It's strength training for the mind. When you expect that storms will come, they can't surprise you. You remain calm when others panic. You adapt when others collapse. Every morning, visualize what could go wrong, then affirm that you can handle it. By doing so, you stop fearing the worst and start respecting your own resilience. When you mentally prepare for loss, every blessing becomes sharper, every challenge becomes manageable. That's the Stoic way, not to hope for an easy life, but to be strong enough to handle a hard one. Habit 10. Reflect nightly, the Stoic ritual of self-assessment. At the end of each day, when the noise fades and the world quiets down, the Stoics would look inward. Marcus Aurelius did this every night, reviewing his actions, thoughts, and choices. Seneca wrote, "When the light has been removed and my wife has fallen silent, I examine my entire day." This nightly reflection wasn't about guilt or judgment. It was about growth. The Stoics believed that wisdom begins with self-awareness. Ask yourself before bed, did I live according to my values today? Did I waste time on trivial things? Did I act out of fear or integrity? These questions create transformation. Every night, you refine your character and correct your course. Life doesn't change in one big leap. It shifts in these quiet, honest moments of reflection. This habit turns ordinary days into lessons and failures into wisdom. So tonight, instead of scrolling your phone before bed, sit in silence. Revisit your actions. Forgive yourself for mistakes and commit to doing better tomorrow. That's the Stoic formula for peace, daily accountability. The man who reflects daily cannot stay lost for long.